Philomena Robertson, Press Secretary to the Prime Minister. Welcome to this week's edition of our post-cabinet press briefing. Thank you so much for joining us. To our viewers, our listeners, to members of the media present here today, thank you as usual for coming in. Today, I have with me the Minister for Agriculture and Lands, the Honourable Yolande Bain-Hosford. Welcome, Minister. And today, she will be sharing with us some updates as it relates to the OECS Regional Agriculture Competitiveness Project, AgriCom, and also the Farm Labour Support Program. Minister, without any further ado, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Madam Press Secretary. Good morning to members of the media, and good morning to all the listeners out there. I see two members of my staff, my chief and another member of staff. Good morning to all. It's indeed a pleasure to be here. It's been a while, and I know you're happy to listen to me this morning because I have enough information to share. So we'll start this morning by sharing information on two projects. The Farm Labour Program, actually, and the OECS Regional Agriculture Competitiveness Project, AgriCom. This is a new project that would be around, in a few days' time. Now, this morning I will speak about the restructuring of the Farm Labour Program. I know a lot of you may have familiar with the Farm Labour Program, but we have done some restructuring in the program to ensure that the program meets its objective, the efficiency, the transparency, and how the program is being rolled out, because we have had problems over the years. We have had problems here and there with that project. It is a 10-year project. It started 10 years ago, and we have spent over $4 million on that project, But we have revisited the project because we feel that there is more to be done to the project. This program provides support to farmers with regards to labor assistance on their farms, as financial challenges and access to productive labor experienced by these farmers precluded them from developing these farm enterprises satisfactorily. It is worth to know that the Farm Labour Program specifically targets selected farm enterprises which demonstrate major potential as far as marketing and impacts are concerned. In that regard, major crops such as cocoa, nutmeg, spices, soursop, coconuts, avocados have been prioritized for support. Now, this program have impacted the lives of farmers over the years. The Nutmeg and Cocoa Association have praised the Farm Labour Program, and they themselves have started a similar program because they realize that the Farm Labour Program have helped them in rejuvenating the two main crops, nutmeg and cocoa. So this year we intend to spend $300,000 on the project. It's not as much as the farmers feel that we should spend, but with limited resources we have to do our bit. But what we want to do is ensure that the money is well spent, and it is spent on persons who are serious about development, who are serious about following, and getting their farms in order. Like the previous years, the main focus on the Farm Labour Program for 2019 will be centered around nutmeg, cocoa, soursop, coconut, and spices. As I said, we have worked on restructuring the program to ensure its efficiency, and we will be seriously monitoring the program in the field. What has happened over the years? We have had farmers who have applied for the program, and as soon as the program finishes off, that's the end. The farmers do not go back to their farms. They have not checked on their farms. Some of the plants die. Some of the plants, because they do not have the nutritious value, they have not been nurtured, they have not been looked after, these plants are susceptible to diseases, and a lot of the times these plants just die. And then the next year, the same farmer comes back to the ministry for support. So we have been monitoring these farmers, and we know for sure that these farmers will not be coming back to the ministry for that level of support, unless they're sure that they are serious and they are willing to get the program going seriously. So we would have that change this year. This year, program details, we will be looking at 100 acres of soursop, 20,000 plants. We're looking at establishing 25 acres of nutmeg, 25 acres of cocoa, 10 acres of coconut, and 50 acres of spices. And you may wonder why so much spices, 50 acres of spices. And where we focusing mainly on spices will be in St. David's. And the reason for that is because St. David's have gone through a serious problem after Hurricane Ivan and Emily. A lot of the spices have, went down. And St. David's is the lands there are suitable for growing spices. And we have identified that, and we will be establishing 50 acres of spices in St. David's. Just to give you some important aspects of the program, we have developed a new criteria for the program, or we may have tweaked the criteria that we have had before because it was not working, for which beneficiaries must comply with, as well as some other implementation tools that we have added to the process. So the list of farmers who receive benefits from the program will be selected by the Ministry of Agriculture and Land using the following criteria. All beneficiaries must be commercial farmers and must be registered with the Ministry of Agriculture and actively involved in farming. Legal access, they must have legal access to the lands that are suitable for the enterprise. So it's not that you're just planting wild. You must have a focus. 3, they must satisfactorily maintain the fields which receive assistance from previous farm labor programs. And I've just spoken about, the farmers who just ignore. After they have given the support, they don't go back to the land. We must see growth. We must see progress. We must see some level of progress taking place and some measure of growth, so that we feel happy that we can support the farmers, and continue to support the farmers. They must have a good track record of implementing technical advice given by the officers of the Ministry of Agriculture and the GCNA and GCA. I'm saying that because a lot of the farmers sometimes, they do not take no advice at all. The agronomists, the technical people would advise them, but some of them, they don't take no heed to the advice, and it's important. We're looking at climate smart practices now. We're looking at new techniques and different things in the agriculture sector. And we cannot continue to do things the old way that we are doing for the longest time. And so we want to ensure that our farmers take advice, seek advice to ensure that their lands are being developed in the way that it should. Have the capacity to maintain the fields adequately with the assistance given under the program. So when we give you the assistance under the program, you too must be part of it. You can't depend only on the assistance given to from the Ministry of Agriculture. It's your lands, it's your property, it's your produce. What sense does it make when you get the plants, you get support in planting them, and then you leave them alone until the next year? We won't be tolerating that this year. Have not received assistance from the same enterprise on the same plot of land from previous programs. So we move now to the selection of workers. A service contract outlining the quality and quantity of work to be done, and the timelines will be made with a service provider, who in turn will hire workers using the following criteria. Good track record from previous labor programs, health and fitness, work experience and skills, ability to work as a team and take instructions from the supervisor, good general deportment. And then we have the signing of the contracts by the beneficiaries. Okay, so each beneficiary would sign a contract so they can cooperate and work together to ensure that we all meet the objectives that we are to be met. So this is in a nutshell the farm labor program. We have, as said, we have restructured it a bit, and we want the farmers to cooperate. We are asking farmers to work with us to cooperate. We want them to cooperate. We are responsible, we both, the Ministry of Agriculture and the farmers out there. We have to look at food security in our country. We have to look at exportation. We have to look at a number of things. And if we don't have proper things in place so that we can produce and deliver to our people or in our country here and overseas, persons who are exporting, we must have good quality and we must be able to meet the market. So I'm appealing this morning to our farmers to support the program and follow the rules and regulations of the program. So that's it for the farm labor program.
Thank you very much, Minister. I think you have an update for us as well on the Agricom project.
Yes. So I move now to the OECS Regional Agriculture Competitiveness Project, Agricom. And this is a project that's been delayed. And the reason for that is because Grenada is not alone in this project. St. Vincent is also part of the project. So it is two islands, Grenada and St. Vincent. And there have been a lot of teething problems to get the program on foot. Not Grenada's fault, because as a matter of fact, I think we are way ahead in the whole preparation and getting ready for the project. But there have been some teething problems. The document had to be revisited and a number of changes have had to be made. And now we are ready to move to roll out the program. So I would give you a little rundown on what the program is all about. So given the importance of agriculture to the socio-economic development of Grenada, the government of Grenada has decided to make greater investment in the sector. And in order to make it more competitive, the OECS Regional Agriculture Competitiveness Project, Agricom, is one such investment which the government is making in the sector. The investment is being financed by a US $4 million loan from the World Bank. And the objective of the project is to improve farmers and fishers' access to markets. The main target beneficiaries for the project are small-scale, organized farmers and fishers, aggregators and agro-processors, which include producer organizations, associations, cooperatives, or similar formal organizations with good legal standing, and small, medium-sized enterprises such as wholesalers, traders, lead farmers with legal standing to act as aggregators and industrial agro-processors. Okay, so persons like the Poultry Association, fishers organizations in communities, and so these small Grenrop, there's a group in Mount Tranquil, there are a number of groups throughout the island who can apply for support under this program. It's a grant, and so whatever the program, the project proposal is developed, the amount of monies that they would need under the program, they would be supported partially by a grant. So the rest of it they can probably get from other credit facility. And we are also working with these credit facilities to ensure that they get the support, the desired support. The farmers and fishers and allied aggregators will be eligible only if they are formally participating together in a strategic, productive alliance approved by the project to pursue the stated objective. So they must work together, even though they have individual projects that they are doing, individual things. For example, you have a group of women, 10 women, who are doing different things in the communities. One might be doing confectionery, one might be doing hot pepper sauce, jam, jelly. They must come together as a team. They must come in a cluster we wouldn't be funding persons individually, just coming with one product, So they must work together as a team. It is expected that the project would have 800 direct beneficiaries, of which a minimum of 25% will be female and a minimum of 25% will be youth, persons between the ages 16 to 35. Again, I just want to reiterate that the project will not fund lone individuals. The project will provide matching grants to farmers and fishers working with the allied aggregator, agro-processor in a productive alliance. Small farmers and fishers, together with the allied agro-processors, producer organization, are required to form formal alliances to participate in the project. Each alliance must have a minimum of 10 farmers and or fishers. Okay, so the clusters will be around 10 persons coming together. Okay. The project will not be fully funded. But the project will not fully fund any of the approved business plans. As I just said, they would receive partial funding. Business plans will be co-financed by the Agricom project through a matching grant. The matching grant is composed of co-financing support to the farmers and fishers, and co-financing support to the aggregators. The balance of the business plan budget not covered by the matching grant must be covered by counterpart financing. The project team has had discussion with the Grenada Development Bank, and they have expressed keen interest in working to support these beneficiaries. There are clear eligibility criteria that farmers and fishers and the allied aggregators must meet. Okay, so they must follow the criteria. We have a brochure that outlines all the different aspects of the project. It's been printed down in a form so that persons could understand very simply without reading that huge document that we all have. The Agricom Project Implementing Unit, PIU, will provide support to applicants in the preparation of the business idea profiles once the call for proposals are issued. Okay, so we have the unit set up. The unit have persons there that would support persons who are interested in the project. So if you have an interest, but you cannot go about putting your documents together, your little proposal together. You're small, you're from a small grouping, 10 of you all from, let's say, Bacolet, and you want to get involved in the project, you can come to the unit, and the unit would help you develop your project proposal to suit. So we're not just, we're giving the support from scratch, because we really want to get things going for the persons in the communities, especially that not doing anything, the single-headed household mother who have 8 children, who can stay home and do her little projects along with the other women and come down to the unit to get funded. And we're also looking at the large-scale persons who are making an impact already and they want support to develop and move on. Okay, so this in a nutshell is the project. And the project we should start taking proposals from Thursday of this week. I don't know the deadline of that. I haven't seen any information on the deadline yet, but I'm sure there will be a deadline. We will announce a deadline because we cannot forever take in proposals. So a deadline will be announced. And we don't want anybody. As a matter, a farmer met me yesterday and he said he heard about the project. But he said, Minister, we had to write so much thing and we had to fill out so much forms. Sometimes it intimidates some of our small people. So I hope that you all are not producing documents that would frighten or small people who wants to get involved in the project. So I said to him, no, you have the opportunity to come in. Come into the ministry. We have a unit that will sit with you and help you unroll the project, help you advise you, help you put your documents together to ensure that you have, you're on the right track.
Thank you very much, Minister. Certainly some good news there as we seek to reinvigorate the agriculture industry, and as you mentioned, the importance of ensuring food security for Grenada. This is very important. Members of the media, the floor is now open for questions from you. Please, as per usual, identify yourself and your media house before you ask your question.
Morning again, Minister. Callistra
Morning.
Faria.
Good morning.
I'm not sure if I missed it, but did you say the number of farmers who you're targeting for the farm labor program? What number?
Oh. We did not speak about the number of farmers for the farm labor. We spoke about the number of farmers for the OECS competitiveness project, agriculture competitiveness. We spoke of the amount of monies for the farm labor program
But I'd
and
like
the
to
targeted areas.
I'd like to know how many farmers are going to be getting labor on their farm through the program.
Well, they have to apply. We're still waiting on the application forms.
You have $300,000, so it's not unlimited. What is the government's target? What's your maximum?
We cannot target anybody at this point in time. We have to receive applications from the farmers. We can tell you the amount of acres of land that we are targeting. Sometimes one farmer may have 5 acres of land because he's looking at the productive side of things. Remember, we're looking at the sustainability of the soursop, the nutmeg, and these crops that hold us steady. So sometimes you may have a farmer with 7 acres, there might be a farmer with 4 acres, and they need the support. We don't want to lose track of that. We're not going to be supporting farmers who have a quarter of an acre of land and these sorts of, low areas, because we have an aim, we have an objective to ensure. So.
Apart from the farmers, oversight seems to have been a problem in the last go around with the farm labor. Is that so? What would have caused the farm labor program, not to work? What did the government not do that allowed farmers to get away with the things they got away with?
Well, it's not that it didn't work. It didn't work effectively. There's some aspects of the program that worked very well, and there's some areas that we need tweaking and shaping and reviewing. I think supervision is one of the main problems in the program. We have since worked very closely with our extension unit. We have done additional training with them. We have had several meetings with them. Sometimes the persons that you employ to do the work on the land as well are not the appropriate people. They don't follow instructions. Sometimes the farmers themselves ignore some of the instructions that are being met, they're supposed to follow. And some of them want to do their own thing in some cases. So these are some of the things that hindered the growth and development of the farm labor program over the years. These are some of the things. But supervision is one of the main things that we have since worked on and beefed up on.
Of course, during the process, if farmers or the laborers are not following the rules of the program, government will withdraw its support?
We would have to. We would definitely have to.
Just one more question, sorry, Minister, on the AgriCom. Over the last 20-something years, we have always had funding for agro-processing and agriculture and the farmers and the fishers. Lots of money, millions of dollars allocated and spent. But here we are with the state of things the way it is. Not much of a big jump in our production or marketing.
Yeah.
What is going to be different this time?
Well, you're quite right as again some aspects of it. We have seen persons who have grown and developed their enterprises. They are now marketing overseas. They have markets overseas. So a few out of the many may have done well. Just in our last discussions, we discussed the whole thing. The same question came up, what have we done? What are we going to do differently? How are we going to move this whole thing forward in a different form? Well, this project would be managed differently. It's a grant, yes, and when people get things free, they tend to feel that the importance of the project is less. When you have something free in your hand, you feel that you get it free. You have not worked for it. You have nothing, But so we have put measures in place to follow the project through. For example, the small aggregators, the small persons who are doing agribusiness, and so we will be monitoring the development, following them, ensuring that their standards are up to scratch. As a matter of fact, they have to come up to HACCP standards these days. It's not just doing things for the market. Traceability is another thing that comes to play. You must have that to be able to trace where your produce come from. All of these things will be part of the development program under this project. So it's not just that we're doing things vaik or we're doing things without any real objective or down the line seeing some outcome, something. We will be working closely with these small business developers to ensure that they meet the standards, that the things are marketable, that they're not just tying things in bags and just, in any old thing. We have to reach the standards. And that expo we had last year has been a great eye-opener. The expo we had in 2017, has been a great eye-opener for the Ministry of Agriculture. We had the opportunity to see these young entrepreneurs, or even age ones who are part of it, where they were still tying little things and trying to, they're creating, they're very creative, but yet they don't have what it takes to bring them to the market level. And so we have a training that's going to take place very soon with some of them who we have identified from the expo. And then all of that will be part of the whole development process with the AgriCom project. So we'll be not hand-holding is the word. We will be training and preparing our people for development. That is what we will be doing.
Pleasant good morning, everyone. Nisha Paul, the New Today newspaper. Minister, you called for supports for persons to support the farm labor project. Is it a case where we're not seeing enough interest, persons showing interest in the program, or and also, can you give us an idea as to how many applicants so far?
Well, it's not that they are not showing interest. We have too many persons interested in the program, but they have to follow a criteria. We just can't run a program wild like that. A criteria must be in place, and they have to follow the criteria to ensure that we reach our desired goal. So sometimes when you have criteria and you have things in place to make sure that things go right, people tend to, take a back seat, or they're not going for it because they want to do their own thing in some cases. I'm not saying that about all the farmers. We have some serious farmers that, have the whole thing at heart. They would participate in the training. They would participate in the clearing and cleaning of their lands, and, as well as we give them the desired support as well. But there are some farmers that don't do anything at all. The plants arrive there, they've been put into the holes that are dug by the people who support them, and that's it. The last day that plant being rested in the hole, that's the last day these farmers go back to the lands, and they wait the next year. It is as bad as that. I was on a radio program, and two gentlemen called and they say, Minister, I could give you the names now of two farmers living right not far from me who have not even looked at the soursop trees since I have planted them. So it's not that we, it's a fact,
So basically, you just want them to show more support.
Well, yes, of course, because we also want to have a productive country. And if we don't start whipping up these farmers and motivating them and shaping them to, and trying to get them going, our country would remain unproductive. We won't have any export. We won't have food security, and all of that. And we have to start looking at that because we've been looking at it, but we have to take it more seriously to ensure that, we get the desired results.
And also, can you give us an idea as to the applicants? I know you mentioned that we have too many persons interested, but can you give us a definite figure?
Well, no, I can't because we're still collecting applications. I just asked last week, I was saying, where are we with applications? And they say, that's where we are when we have to review these applications. We have to send back the field people into the field to look at the field and see the appropriateness of the application and all of that. It's not just, spending these monies without no real meaning or value. Yeah.
Okay, can you just spell out for me how do one qualify to fall under this project?
Well, I did mention here, I did read out all the different, let me say it again, that all beneficiaries must be commercial farmers and must be registered with the Ministry of Agriculture and actively involved in farming. So they must be actively involved in farming. Legal access to the lands that are suitable for the enterprise. They must satisfactorily maintain the fields which receive assistance from the previous farm labor program. So the fields would be looked at. We must see some measure of growth and some sort of, progress have taken place. They must have a good track record of implementing technical advice given to them by the Ministry of Agriculture, GCA, and AGCA, and have the capacity to maintain the fields adequately with the assistance given under the program. Have not received assistance for the same enterprise on the same plot of land from previous programs. So this is part of the criteria for the program. Okay?
Thank you.
Minister, I noticed nutmeg is being featured greatly in terms of the support. Could you give us an update on the status of our nutmeg industry as it regards? I know that the GCNA under the ordinance, and so the GCNA is the sole exporter. But there's been, talk about others being given access to export nutmeg. So could you give me an update on what exactly is going on?
I'm not very aware of that. I mean, in everything you have things that are done, people will try to get things out on their own way or whatever. What we are doing with the nutmeg, what we are doing now, we are trying to we are looking at the ordinance. It's very archaic. The document is with the Attorney General's office now, and we are looking at tweeting that document to reflect what is happening nowadays. And that's an easy way of putting it. So the document is being looked at now. We make some changes in the document. We're also looking at the merger, and that that would come up. Bringing the two organizations together, We're looking at that. A committee has been set up to do the detailed analysis on the whole thing. And we are waiting on the results of that now, so we can move things forward. But things cannot remain as it is, or as they will lose the industry.
Okay, you mentioned we're tweaking the document a little bit to reflect what is happening now. Can you explain that a bit? What is happening? What is happening now?
We have to open up some of we have to get the markets going. You must. Or else what was wrong? What's going to happen to the farmers? Every year they're waiting for back pay. I don't want to go more into that. What would happen to the farmers?
Okay, so
the organization must be in such a way that we can the benefits, and I don't want to go into too much detail on that now. We will take up that at another forum where we have more information that I can share. But we are working on the reshaping of the ordinance, and we did put a committee in place to look at the merger of the two commodity boards. Okay?
Indulge me just a little bit, Minister. Outside of, I understand that it's in the process of happening, but as it relates to who can export our nutmeg, who's going to be able to get a license to export our nutmeg? What direction what direction are we going in the restructuring?
We're going to take up that area, that what you're speaking of, when we have another press conference, that we can deal with those issues, and we can speak about the development that has taken place in terms of the ordinance and the meeting. So we would have a press conference, so you can have more details and information. I don't want to share anything prematurely with you this morning that you may not get the gist out of it.
Gerald Joseph, GBN Minister, you would have highlighted on the labor in terms of, I think, a service provider for the workers for the support program. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, there must be a service provider in place. They would have to sign a contract, and workers would be under them. Okay? So you'd have somebody coordinating, like a manager or contractor, and below this contractor you'd have maybe 6, 7 workers, 8 workers that would work on the farms. Okay?
Who is the service provider? Is there one already, or was there one?
No. Well, the ministry coordinates the project. Now, the contractors, we would have, all of that would be part of the application. Okay? All right.
The national poultry policy is in its final stages right now.
Yes.
How does that tie in with the plans of your ministry?
Very well. We are moving very well with the poultry development. We had 7 recommendations coming out of the poultry policy from Cabinet that we had to move on, and we have done that. And we are at the stage now that we will be making a presentation to Cabinet very soon on where we are with the recommendations and with all of the information and other development that has happened with the poultry moving forward. We have also spoken to all the local poultry producers, and we have a database on what they can produce and the quality and all of that. So a lot of work has been done. We are at a point now where we are moving swiftly to look at getting this whole the recommendations in place and moving forward.
At the last sitting of Parliament, you would have highlighted that the ministry was in the process of purchasing, I think, cameras and equipment to be used on farms and other such things. I think in 2014 or 2015, the similar equipment was given through the Ministry of Agriculture to the Pediatric Licensing Department. What has happened to those equipment that were given to the Pediatric Licensing Department since it was given through the Ministry of Agriculture? Was there any investigation done?
Well, I have no idea about 2014, what has happened with the cameras since then. What I can speak of is what is happening now regarding the way forward with the camera system that we are putting in place now for the Pediatric with the Pediatric Licensing Department. So I can tell you that we have ordered cameras. We are working on that now. We have ordered some cameras. I don't have the details, the figures, and these have not they have not arrived yet. And we will be utilizing these cameras throughout the fields for the farmers. The farmers will be buying the cameras at a subsidized price to help them to on their farms. There are some farmers who have already went ahead and bought cameras. As a matter of fact, they did a demonstration on a couple farms, and I was present. and I was impressed. You know, if these cameras hold up very well, and if they're strategically placed as how they are, and if the program that they designed for the camera is being adhered to, we would hold a few of these, not a few, quite a few of these persons who are going around stealing. People think they have not grown anything in their lives, but they're going around stealing people's produce. Just last week, they stole all my avocados. All my avocados. They didn't even leave one for me. So I am in for the camera system as well.
There are reports of a recycling plant aimed at Lacaloom. Prior, residents were given permission to farm, I think, but they had to get permission from the Ministry of Agriculture as well as the parliamentary representative for the area. Since then, we have heard that an excavator came in and destroyed the Lacaloom residents' produce, and no reimbursement were given. Are you aware of that?
No. I'm not. That has not reached my office, so I have no details on that matter.
Do we have any further questions?
Minister, just for clarification, can you explain, you mentioned that funding would not be given to one individual, but they would have to be in clusters. Can you just explain how that would work? Like, let's say a cluster of 10, what would happen?
Well, first they would have to develop the proposal to encapsulate the whole 10 persons and the different projects that they would be doing individually. Not, when I say individually, I mean because the projects are different.
Yes, separate.
Okay? But they are working together as a team. Right? So the proposal has to be designed in such a way to, to cover the entire team.
And then the funding would be disbursed to
Disperse
each
accordingly
individual.
what they are doing differently. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have one final question. Again, another policy, the land use policy, is being developed. We would have done a story on that, highlighting the benefits. However, and the chief land use officer would have highlighted that consultations was done. And I did confirm with the senator responsible for agriculture, Dunson Campbell, that these consultations was done, but on a larger scale, when speaking to normal people, they are not aware of a land use policy. Would there be wider consultation on the land use
Most
policy?
definitely. We have done quite a lot of that, but there's still more. There are different phases of the land use policy development that we are going to be doing, and enlightening people out there. The policy is not totally completed yet, but we are working towards its completion. And so a number of different interactions must take place with farmers, with owners, with different persons. We must have that level of interaction so that we can have a balanced approach. Yeah.
Okay, I take it that will be all for the questions this morning. Minister, do you have any closing comments, or you've covered everything that you desired to this morning?
More or less. We have a lot of brochures and so on the project, and we encouraging persons to come down to the Ministry of Agriculture and express themselves and participate, especially in this new project, the OECS Regional Agriculture Competitiveness Project. Over the next few days, you would hear more about it. We would do some PR. We are mounting up a series of different public relations programs for the project, because we think it's a project that can lift the standard of our very ordinary people, as well as our persons who have persons in up to 50 persons working under them in a particular project. So we are looking forward to persons coming in, and our unit is very well prepared and very well equipped to service them all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Minister Yolan Bain Hosford, the Minister responsible for Agriculture and Lands. And we would have had significant updates this morning on the things that are being done to reinvigorate the agriculture industry. We heard about the Agricom project, $4 million to be invested there.
Yes,
and
US
the
dollars.
important US dollars. And the important thing to note is that it is grant funding, but the beneficiaries will also have to come up with matching funding. So it's not just government giving money. Persons have to have an investment in the project themselves. And we expect that that will go a long way in making this particular project work the way that it should, and that we should achieve the benefits that we seek to. So that brings us to the end of this week's post-cabinet press briefing. I am Philomena Robertson, the press secretary. I'll see you again next week.
Celebration of cultural ecstasy has dawned upon us. One that every citizen, every visitor, and every nation has come to relish because of our unique carnival with its multiple diversity. I am Kemik DeGale, your 2018 reigning carnival queen. It has been a pleasure to share and embrace the warmth of your hearts. As we forge ahead to yet another immaculate experience, I invite you all to participate in the pinnacle of celebration on August 12th and 13th. Be amused by the traditional mass and kiddies carnival frolic. Come share in the harmonious sound of the steel pan, the sweet rhythms of the groovy, the frenzy of soca monarch, and the hard-biting lyrics of calypso. Majestic Thursday on August 8th will be a night that celebrates beauty and encapsulates women power. Oh yes, our famous World Juve noted for our jab jab, our electrifying display of light and
Finals being played at Pearls. Come see the likes of Devon Smith from Revival Stars out of Hermitage, Sherman Lewis from Monton, and the Sentinel Brothers from Munich, just to name a few. So on Sunday, June 16th, the Big Six kicks off, and the Grand Final coming soon with over $35,000 in prizes. Don't miss the weekly cricket action. This ad sponsored by Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future. The St. Andrew Cricket League presents Champion of Champions. The Big Six in 2019 goes head-to-head. Beginning Sunday, June 16th and continues every Sunday from 11:30 a.m. at the following venues: Pearls Playing Field, Monton Playing Field, and Hermitage Playing Field, with the semi-finals and finals being played at Pearls. Come see the likes of Devon Smith from Revival Stars out of Hermitage, Sherman Lewis from Monton, and the Sentinel Brothers from Munich, just to name a few. So on Sunday, June 16th, the Big Six kicks off. And the grand final coming soon with over $35,000 in prizes. Don't miss the weekly cricket action. This ad sponsored by Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future. The new national party, LNP Utah, in association with Waggy T, presents a pre-fisherman's birthday bingo. On Saturday, 22nd June, at the Victoria Park in Grenville. Starting time 7 p.m. It's $50,000 in cash and prizes to be won. $50,000 in cash and prizes. Tickets cost $40 for one. Pay $70 and we give you 2 tickets. Music by DJ Camus. Make it a date. Saturday, 22nd June, Victoria Park, Grenville. $50,000 free fisherman birthday bingo. Don't you dare miss this. The St. Andrew Cricket League presents Champion of Champions. The Big Six in 2019 goes head-to-head. Beginning Sunday, June 16th and continues every Sunday from 11:30 a.m. at the following venues: Pearls Playing Field, Moncton Playing Field, and Hermitage Playing Field, with the semi-finals and finals being played at Pearls. Come see the likes of Devon Smith from Revival Stars out of Hermitage, Sherman Lewis from Moncton, and the Sentinel Brothers from Munich, just to name a few. So on Sunday, June 16th, the Big Six kicks off, and the grand final coming soon with over $35,000 in prizes. Don't miss the weekly cricket action. This ad sponsored by Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
And good morning to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Hard Talk. My name is Sheldon Scott.
And I'm Devon Romain.
It's now 4 minutes to the hour of 11 o'clock on the Spice Isle of Grenada. It's a beautiful, I nearly said Tuesday, eh? A beautiful Wednesday morning on the Isle of Spice. You know how it goes in beautiful, lovely Grenada. And of course, let me just make sure I've seen some information coming through there. Nice. Good. Nice. Right, so I will send that. Yeah, good morning to you, Mr. Watts. Yeah, hope that you're having a fabulous morning, you and the wife. Yeah, give her a hug up and a kiss for Sheldon there. Nice. Make sure, Now, don't go and play, hug it up and kiss and say that for yourself, Make sure when you give her the hug and kiss, you say that is from Sheldon. Nice. Good morning to all the listeners. Those of you down in the town of St. George, if you're passing through right now, you're hearing Hard Talk pumping and pulsating from one of the speakers, maybe by one of the shop and them, or one of the restaurants, or one of the buses, if you're down in the town of St. George, or in Grenville town, or even those of you up in Victoria and St. Mark, Guelph and St. John, St. Patrick, wherever you are, we say good morning.
Carriacou. Good
morning. Petit Martinique.
Yeah,
we know Mama Jane. Mama Jane may be tired, boy. She and Schumann, they may be tired.
Hangover.
Yeah, boy, they tired. That weekend, we know it's a long one. Right now, she may lie down on the bed with she headphone and she is listening. Taking her rest. She done do the chores for the morning already. And she relaxing. Hey, Mama Jen? Yes, she relaxing up there. All right. Yes.
Cami, good morning to you, my dear.
Cami, we went bingo, eh? Right, nice.
And not only that, Cami have a little problem with our radio in terms of getting the stations right. Anybody who has that little technical thing, pass by Cami, help out, please. Mm-hmm. She need to listen to the program more clear and efficient. Yeah. Right? So good morning to all of you who are on there. Good morning to the busmen and the conductors. Yeah. And so good morning to you, police officers, and traffic wardens.
Boy, we're coming down to Carnival City launch that's taking place this Friday. Now, Carnival City usually is over on the Carriacou, but it's shifted now. It's over in Tantine. Yeah, okay. It's over in Tantine on the netball court. It will be Carnival City. So, I'm wondering now if it's to go up for the launch at Kaisobads or if it's to wait until Kaisobads come through Carnival City. Anyhow you take it, I know I will get talked. So I have to hide. I can't go and sit down in front.
When Kaisobads?
Kaisobads launching just now. Scholar, one of you all, Scholar, Beast. Somebody send me a WhatsApp and let me know. I sure you have my number, yeah. So one of you all send a number.
I'm staying far away from that, boy.
Where you staying far for? Boy, I love that. And then, man, I get talk already, yeah, boy. Sitting parliamentarian, I go in front.
Pecan.
I go in front, I get talk. I laugh, I roll. I'm afraid that, man. It's part of life.
Fun. That's just how it is
Calypso without commentary and stinging political commentary is not Calypso. Yeah? You don't have to be nasty, but you expect to get a little lashing in between. I mean, that is it. That is the thing. That's the nature of the thing. No vex of that.
Beast, good morning. you're leading right now.
Leave the man alone, eh? Leave my cousin alone.
Oh my God, Lord. Never a dull moment in Grenada. You know what is amazing about our Calypsonians, man? They are so creative and know how to make people laugh, but at the same time, they have a serious message in that laughter, you know. And
yeah, that's true. All right. Hey, morning to you, Antonia.
Good morning
Dudes,
to you.
Morning. And to Oscar, good morning to you. And I'm seeing Brenda is on this morning. Janelle, good morning to you. And Nisha. Johnny, good morning. Martin, I'm seeing you on as well. Somebody calling already, boy. We didn't open the phone line, but we go take the call. There you go.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, guys. I'm not getting you all on 89.5, and where I'm at, I'm struggling to hear on 97.5. But I'll try my best to listen, but I'm not getting 89.6 at all. I just saw it in Montu area.
Okay, great.
Okay, great, my boy. All right, one love.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and see how we could find out what's going on there. All right, nice. And see if we could get it on for you. All right, bro? You try and see if we could get that on for you day. All right, so that's 89.5.
89.5.
But we're up on 97.5. City Sound.
Yeah, 92.9.
In Carriacou.
Carriacou and 94.9 We Noise Radio in Brooklyn.
And, boss man, even though you're struggling to hear, if you have the internet, just go and check us on Facebook. Or even better, check us on YouTube. You won't get us there.
Yeah.
All right, nice. We have another caller.
Good morning and welcome.
Morning, Morning, Devon. How are you?
Not too bad, my friend.
Yeah, morning, Mr. Scott.
Morning, my brother.
Brother.
You good?
Okay, I'm calling for the town of St. George, right?
All right.
They asked me to pass on some information.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, concerning, my brother, our brother has gone and beyond,
Yeah, flagman, Martin.
Yeah. So they asked me now to share this. So what happened, we have a bus leaving River Road office at 1 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
All people who want to go to funeral,
Yes.
they are free bus.
All they dressing in
You
green?
are welcome,
All they dressing in
pay
green?
our last respect to our brother.
My boy.
Yeah.
All they dressing in green?
Yeah, we had, you could put on your green jersey to say,
Yeah, man, put on a green thing, man.
He do a lot of contribution to the, the party, and it was a good solo of mine, and I miss him,
Yeah, man.
And so on. So, we had to show the love and show, our respect to him,
Mm-hmm.
and so on. So, So I'm asking anybody, and who want to get in touch with me, definitely, my number is 406-0927 or 416-6913, 6913. You could get in touch with Bernard,
Mm-hmm.
and so on. So the bus will be leaving the office at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
They call me and ask me to,
No problem, bro.
Right, so to his family, I extend my sympathy, to the family, and we know we're going to miss our brother. He always up front in the flag,
You can't miss him.
and so on, yeah. So may he rest in peace. Have a nice day, my brother, and Devon.
Yes.
All right.
All right, my friend.
Right, Devon, stop pick mangoes in Jumbie.
Boy, watch, I miss them mango in Jumbie, They sweet. Oh, my God.
yes.
This man invoked some kind of memories there.
You're going and interfere with things.
Yes,
You're going and
boy.
interfere with things.
Also, Sheldon, I just want to will extend sympathies to a fallen soldier, right? Brenda Phillip from Portree. She will be buried today. Yeah, up there in Portree. She was one of our soldiers back in, during the revolution and so. And so for us soldiers, we always try
when
to.
you say a soldier, you mean an actual soldier?
A soldier, yeah.
So military funeral.
Well, I don't know what the family
I
and
find a
the-
list sticking and all kind of thing with that, right? Now they're supposed to have your organization, military funeral.
Well, the organization is there, but we have certain stigmas and thing, and but hey, we get in there. You know, because you have to when you have a period in your country that made so much impact, and so had its good and its bad. And also coming up June 19th, right? The June 19, 1980, most of us remember what went on in Queen's Park. And so the bomb blast that killed 3 young ladies, and maim a couple of others, But again, on that day, we will have a couple of minutes, we'll refresh the memories of the Grenadian people as to what went on.
Yeah.
And so,
Devon, I think it's important. When you talk about Brother Martin, I think it's important we pull up a tune for him.
Yeah.
I'll pull in a tune for
He was
Brother
a stalwart.
The other day, everybody singing one song. What is the election coming there? You know who they're voting for. You have a kind of chorus they were singing. Let me hear. If NDC win again, we crying. If NDC win again, we balling. If NDC win again, we crying. If NDC win again, we balling. I know.
Me partner Tini meet me, I tell you he vex like hell. He says by the Grenadian go vote back Dr. Mitchell. I said till he 5 years now you there, you don't have to vex. And Grenadian people are stupid, they know where to put the X and they singing no cookie eye. No cookie eye. Who you voting? Tell me, who you voting? What squad? No cookie eye. No cookie eye. Bring on. Who you voting? Tell me.
Yeah, you had a boss one. When is the NNPI that gone? You had a pull tune for them, man.
We are the winning team. We are the winning team. We are the winning team. And we will deliver. We are the NNP.
You know we will. You're guaranteed.
We are the NNP. Grenada Insular is our. We will deliver. Our party rising by the hour. You don't see everybody sour. That is why we bring him back, Jonah. We will deliver. Everybody. We will deliver.
Yes, indeed. Huh? Yes, we will deliver. All right? That's our promise, and we're making sure and keep it. Heard the Minister of Agriculture speaking this morning about several initiatives through the Ministry of Agriculture, including that initiative where the first one is where they're going to be providing farm labor support. Now, initially, when I heard the post-cabinet press briefing being announced and they said that the minister will be discussing the farm labor support program, in my mind, I thought it was a Canadian program. So I thought they were speaking about the Canadian farm labor support program where you would have Grenadians going up to Canada, probably some new information on it. Only to realize they're speaking about the Grenadian version of it.
The homegrown.
Yeah. So that
homegrown one.
you will have people being sent out to farms locally. But it will be properly managed, properly monitored. It's not going to be a situation where 3 or 4 years ago, they sent some laborers to assist you and clear a portion of land. And as soon as the portion of land clear, you grow one crop in it and you allow it to go back into fallow again with big tree and things start to grow up in it. Yeah, big trees could grow up in that space at a time according to the type of tree it is. Yeah, it's not going to be like that. They're not going to send back farmers, people in that kind of situation. We have a caller.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Kami.
Morning, my dear.
I could hardly get all you, but I just call. I don't get to know what's going on the program.
Oy.
Anyhow, I just want to say good morning to Grenada, Carriacou, Martin, and all my friends in England, Canada, America, Mr. Watt and his wife. I hope all they reach home safe. Patty and Matthew, I look while I don't hear. And to the Prime Minister, good morning, sir, wherever he is. Oh God, Grenadians. They're saying so much about that man. Anyhow, I ain't worrying about that. I just hope everything all right to you, sir, and you come home safe. Sheldon, I can't hear what's going on. Because the radio, I don't get good signal at all. That's why I didn't hear me for the past few days.
Oh dear.
Anyhow, I just want the people on the outside world to know that a lot of things is happening here. By my side, a lot of construction work and a lot of houses is going on by me. They're working right through on a Sunday. So I would like a crew in Grenada to take a look in Bushedu, go on the picture on the work site and to show the people what's going on. The Chinese working so hard, you know, and I feel happy as a Grenadian to see a lot of my Grenadian neighbors get the work to do and they see them by the road. So it's not the people that have the negative things to say. I would like all to stop and look at the positive side. Because just now, a lot of people in Grenada are going to get their little home. So let's pray for our little country. I love Grenada. This is why I'm here. Sheldon Devon.
Yeah.
And all who listen. I love Grenada. I didn't know say here. I love this little country. That little rock. I love this place. So I want to say good morning to everybody again. And all the haters, let's love each other. We live in a small world. You understand?
Yep.
We have little things happening. Right now it's so hot. But we still have little food. Look at Lady Joy bring a pineapple for me. 2 cabbage, 2 cucumber. You understand? So you just pray for our little country and stop saying the wrong things and wishing bad things about the Prime Minister. He's trembling, he have Alzheimer's and he's sick. Or you stop this thing. Stop this thing, this rejoicing. Anyhow, you giving him long life, health and strength. Stop saying this bad thing about people. Stop it. Okay. And you have a good day. I can't hear all you good about us. And I know my voice out there. Stop it. All right. I want to know, you know. Have a good day, Sheldon.
Okay.
Patty, have a good day, you and Matthew. Well, mango in Grenada again. Mango pursue. Bye-bye.
Cammy had to rub it in.
Yes, folks. And yeah, you can call in 440-7377, 440-7377. But we're speaking about the agricultural program as well. And yeah, mangoes and things. But remember, they're dealing with specific crops as well. Now, it worked wonders when it was done a few years ago for the cocoa industry here in Grenada, because a lot of land that had gone into fallow, a lot of land that cocoa that was under vine and all kind of thing. The Farm Labor Support Program was able to clear that up, and therefore cocoa production has increased over the past few years. And then you came to the issue of we're looking to increase production of things like soursop and avocados. Yeah. The minister did mention coconut, because since Hurricane Ivan, we've had a reduction in the amount of coconut. That's why a bottle of coconut oil right now is like gold. The price of it is like if it's crude oil you're buying. Yeah. Right? So that is expensive. And also she mentioned specifically spices, but spices especially in the St. David area. If you live in St. David, if you've been lucky enough, one of the blessed people on planet Earth to have been able to live in St. David. I'll find a talking kind of thing. Yeah. One of the blessed people to have had the opportunity to live in St. David. Then you'll know what I'm speaking about. St. David has a kind of climate. You ever been in St. David, boy, Devon? November, December. When you see the place start to cool down and that kind of thing. And you sit down in that area and you could just smell cinnamon. You could just smell clove. You could just smell nutmeg and them kind of thing. St. David's is that kind of place. It has the right temperature. It has the right soil. There are places in St. David, you look at that side of the road, you see the soil red. You look at that side, you see it brown. Serious. That side red, that side brown. And you wonder, but how come? St. David has the soil and everything for spices. And we need to get back. We're the Isle of Spice. But I find somehow we playing the fool now, man. Where the cloves?
Yeah, but we lose a lot of that.
Where the cinnamon? We're waiting for Jamaica or Trinidad to come and take over that.
Yeah.
Yeah, where the cloves, where the cinnamon, where these things. We have to get back to the stage where we have significant numbers of it. And the Ministry of Agriculture has identified that. Because I remember a few years ago, a friend of mine in Singapore was interested. He's a parliamentarian there now, incidentally. And he was interested in bringing container loads of specifically cloves from Grenada to Singapore. You know they deal big with that. Now, when he tell me,
we can't make it.
When he tell me what he wanted, I had to say, nah, boy, can't make that one. How much you looking for?
We have to back down.
He said, well, in the first month, I'm looking for about 4 containers. And after that, we're going to see how we go from there. 4 container loads
in the first
is
month.
what he wanted in the first month.
Yeah,
and after that, he go see where he go from there. We don't have it.
We
don't have it. With the Isle of Spice, but we don't have it. If it's not Megs, he could get that.
Yeah, or cocoa.
If it's cocoa, he could get that. But when it comes to the cloves and the other spices, we kind of fall back a bit on the vanilla and thing. We cannot fall back. And we had to take back we market, right?
Yeah, even the ginger, again, I mean, you've seen the production of ginger beginning to, rise.
Hey, let me say good morning to Bull out there in the tongue of St. George. Not because you don't call me, we can't call you. Let me call we boy. Bull is we boy.
Bull, man.
Bull, good morning.
I remember Bull. I
have to call Bull.
Since I go into Wesley Hall School,
Yeah.
Primary school.
Bull is our soul, yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, the real soul, yeah.
Yeah. So while I call out Bull, we ain't forgetting the agriculture. Also, the minister spoke about that specific program where people can get funding for agricultural assistance with agricultural projects and so on, but they have to come as a cooperative.
Yeah.
So it could be a group of people, let's say in St. Paul's. So you have one lady who is doing the pennacool, but she's doing it from local items. It doesn't have to be from local items, but she's doing pennacool, and she's doing it from guava and different things you find locally. And you might have a next lady that's doing short crop farming. You might have a next one who is doing some other sort of a manufacture.
Tamarind ball. Or fudge.
Confectionery.
Confectionery type
right.
stuff,
So you may have that sort of a thing going on. But each one want to go and apply for a loan separately. Now, that day is a problem. Because when you go and you do that, generally, you may not have the assets, you may not have the different things together to be able to get it on your own. What they are doing, St. P, don't worry, I'll deal with it just now. I know what I'm doing. Yeah. Generally, if you go on your own, you ain't getting that. And you see the problem. Me and Devon was talking about it just now. And hold on with the phone calls. We will come to you just now. Let's just put this out there. The problem is that a lot of us feel entitled without any strings attached to money out of some of these programs. So you have the person that there's this fund, either under GDB or some other agricultural program or so, and there's this fund that says, we're willing to give you $25,000, present us with a business plan, and show us how your business is going to work, and we will give you $25,000, either as a grant or as a loan on concessionary rates. We'll give it to you. And as me and Devon was saying, a lot of people, they just refuse to go and do it in the proper way. They think that they must just walk in and say, I want $25,000 and get it. No.
Can't happen like that.
This money is being provided by people from outside of Grenada, and they want to see that their money is spent properly. So they're not just going to give it to you, and sometimes you're upset because you see somebody else go and they get, and you don't get. And sometimes what might happen is that they may start to make it look as politics too, because the person that go and get might not be a supporter of your political party, might be a supporter of another political party, and you saying, well, I campaign so hard, and a little 25,000 or 10,000 I go for to start a small business, and they refuse to give me. It's not they refuse to give you. In many instances, some of you just refuse to follow the procedure. They ask for a business plan. Who are time with that? They ask if you have some sort of security. Sometimes it's not that you have to have it, they ask if you have.
If you have.
But what are you asking all that question for? What you want to mind the business for?
See, and that has been the problem with some of us, because we need, there are certain criteria that are laid down that we need to get acquainted to. We can't just run in and get things like that. We need to help ourselves. We need to sit down and plan, right? Build up our self-esteem. Show the people that, look, I am willing, right, to do this, right? This is my plan. This is what I have. You may not have, a ace plan, but you have the idea. They will find people to sit down with you, right? There are persons for that. And so sit down with you, help you prepare a very good plan, and then go and get that money.
At some of the constituency offices, they have people that they can call in to help you with the business plan. But you know what happens? when the person comes and they're asking you, because you must give them information for them to be able to help you with your business plan. They'll ask you how much you earn. If there are other people in the household that working and how much they earn. What are your monthly expenditures and so on? How much money you're spending? Because they need to have an idea of how much expendable, how much usable money you have. But you know they're too fast. They want to mind my business. What they want to know my business for? I don't going back. And then people in the office down they're too fast. They want to know all my business and things. They want to know how much I pay in for light. They want to know how much I pay in courts. They want to know. It is part of the process. It's part of the process.
We need to get, familiarize ourselves, right, with all these things. Otherwise, we'll get left, We will get left behind, and we don't want that to happen. We will need to see our young people, right, our mothers, our young ladies, our mothers, our young men get involved in programs that can help them, that can help develop their ability and thus help the country on a whole.
Yeah, so these programs are available. Don't go blaming the minister. Don't go blaming the government. Don't go blaming anybody but yourself for your own insecurities if you're interested in getting these loans. Because you see, if $5 million is given to the government of Grenada for a project like this, when that $5 million is used, the government of Grenada has to report to if it's the Canadian government or if it's the Canadian, because the Canadian taxpayers' money that used for it, they have to report how they distributed the money. They have to show that the people they gave the money to were qualified for it. And they have to show that X amount, you won't get everybody successful. But a certain percentage has to be successful in who they give the money to. So there has to be some effort in how it's done, because if you successfully utilize that 5 million, the next time around they might give you 15. The next time around they might increase it and give you 18 and then 20.
More people benefit.
Yeah. So they have to report on that, right? They have to report on it properly. So that's how that second program is going. One, you can't do it individually.
No.
You had to learn to live together. Old time people used to go and do the susu and thing, and they used to learn to live together.
Yeah, susu is one of our hallmarks. Yeah,
Cooperatives is an African thing. Just as susu is an African thing. It's part of our DNA that some of us trying to break out from in the wrong way. Don't break out from it. Just give in to that part of it. We are one people. So learn how to join with people. So you might be doing a business there and you see 2 or 3 other people in the area doing a business, and you could come up with a business plan and you all would be able to access the funding under that program, right? So those are basically the 2 things the minister spoke about this morning. But Devon, another issue that I want to raise there, and it was raised by Cami. There are NDC activists out there. Now it's 11:22, good. Hold all calls. Don't call now. There are NDC activists out there who are maliciously spreading falsities about Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. Now, we know some of them have no shame, no gumption, no morality. People like that one up in St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah,
the long hair one.
Ali.
Don't afraid to call his name.
Ali
Call his full name.
But
These guys have no morality. These guys have no gumption. These guys have no common sense. And that is why they will always be an albatross around the neck of any political organization they are attached to. If he reach in an NP, I gone. I tell you, no, I tell you straight. If he reach here, I gone. Because I know thing go mash up. Because we have to be real desperate to have people like that around us. But you have these disgusting individuals who are out there spreading rumors about Dr. Mitchell, that he's sick and that kind of thing. Well, let me tell you all this. All what you all claiming, the National Stadium, the Kirani James Athletic Stadium is open. I put in the same Dr. Mitchell in 100 meters against any of you all that's saying that stupidness right now and he beating all you. Any of you that out with that nonsense right now about Dr. Mitchell sick and the thing, you all ain't fed up, be idiots. And nearly say something else I can't say on radio day, nearly come out to them. You all ain't fed up being stupid. You all ain't fed up being dotish. And I'm speaking here to the political activists of the NDC. You all ain't fed up? How stupid can you be? How dunce, dotish, and idiotic can you be?
They have nothing else to talk about.
You know it's not true. And that's why I'll call you all that. You all know it's not true. But yet you are out there spreading it. What political gain do you expect to get from this? Let me tell you all something. 2008, Dr. Mitchell's sick. He in hospital. Oh God, he got dead just now. During the reign of the NDC, Dr. Mitchell was in opposition. 2010, Christmas time coming up. Oh, he afraid. The police coming for he and Bowen. He afraid. Sick. I hear he lie down home. He can't move. 2011, Dr. Mitchell sick. Oh gosh. And we hear Brother Bowen. We hear right now he on the deathbed. And all that kind of nonsense. Devon, you know answer the truth. 2012, they came back with the same thing. In fact, let me dial back a bit to 2011. As we know, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell loves healthy living, is a gentleman that is in the gym every single day. Holiday or no holiday, wherever he is, he goes to the gym. Not only here in Grenada, but when he travels, wherever he goes, he makes sure that he has access to a gym because that's just part of his makeup. That's just part of his DNA. So he goes to the gym every single morning. He also takes in a lot of water. He drinks a lot of water and that sort of thing, and he eats right. Yeah, that is why at his age, some of them who on radio blabbing him out and wishing death on him, I will put him in 100 meter against them any day in the Carriacou JM Stadium and bet a year's salary that Dr. Mitchell gonna cut the tail. Just like he beat them in election, he'll beat them in 100 meter. I could bet my bottom dollar on that right now. But they are out there spreading these sort of nonsensical Nancy story stupidness. And are people out there in the diaspora who ought to know better by now helping spread this dotishness. Sometimes you have to see a message and tell the person who sent it to you, don't ever send dotishness like that to me again. Because I just do it, that's why he doesn't get them messages. I just do it. Why you wasting my time for with this stupidness? Don't send it to me.
I mean, why would you wish death and sickness on a fellow individual?
You have to be careful with the words that proceed from your mouth because they can come back to haunt you. Sometimes you're pronouncing your sentence on your own self by what you're wishing for somebody else because you know your heart ain't clean, you know your heart ain't pure. So when you go out there and you open your mouth and you pronounce sickness on somebody else, careful. Is you and your family it coming for? God is our all-seeing and all-knowing God. Don't feel all you could hide.
Imagine, put yourself in other person's. Imagine somebody talking about your father or your mother like that, or your brother or your sister. I mean, like that, wishing death and sickness, continuous sickness on them. I mean, what are some of us thinking? Right? While you wishing that on somebody else, are you looking at what is happening to you or even your family? We need to think.
You see, these individuals are so desperate. They lose 15-0 twice. And anytime I say it, like I shouldn't say it. Anytime I say they lose 15-0 twice is a problem. Oh, you're always talking about, yes, sir, talking about it.
It's a fact.
I ain't lying to the Grenadian people.
It's the truth.
It's the truth. And there's a reason. Because you all dotish. You all keep doing the same thing over and over. You all do it in 2009. You do it in 2010. You do it in 2011, 2012. You come back. Dr. Mitchell, when he went on exercise, he damaged his back. In 2011, there was a time that he had pulled a muscle in his back and the doctor ordered him, say, no, take a couple weeks home, relax, don't go out and think, relax. They started to spread rumor that the man on the deathbed. Sheldon used to be in Happy Hill home by Dr. Mitchell every now and again. The man had sprained because he went and how he lift the weights at that point in time. You know, sometimes if you know about weightlifting and so, if you don't grip properly and you try to stand, you can pull a muscle, and he pulled a muscle in his back. And you know why I always remember that? It was around November. And you know why I always remember that? Because right after he started going around again, it was Christmas time. And he was making a walk, as opposition leader, he was making a walk in the St. George Market Square. And a group of those market vendors take him up and lift him in. I still have the picture. They take him up and they lift him up in the air. And I was there and I was like, oh gosh, The man back, he back, he back. I had to tap one of the ladies and say, lady, the man back, he back, he back. And look at that. At his age, to be so healthy. So continue adding years onto his life. Continue doing that dotish, disgusting behavior. Continue it because you're just adding years to his life. I had to say it today because it's past annoying, but it's not unexpected. I expect that and more from them. I expect that and more from them.
These things have consequences. When people keep on doing these things, they have serious consequences.
Keep pronouncing it on yourself and your family. That's who it's falling on. Keep wishing them things for him. I ain't telling you that. I ain't wishing no bad for you. I'm telling you what will happen. Keep wishing bad on people and it does fall back on you. I wish it doesn't. But you for yourself is who calling it on you. All right? Yep. Done on that one?
Yeah. Well, not so much done on it. We're just making sure that the message gets through.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you have to do it over and over again, we will.
Yeah.
And not just for Dr. Mitchell, but I mean for all Grenadians.
Anybody there that believe in that nonsense, all you dotish.
That's...
Anybody that they and believe in the stupidness that's been circulating, all you dotish. All you need to go back to school. Yes. Right. I have no apologies for that. Yeah. You're supposed to have enough sense by now.
Disgusting.
Especially if you're listening to talk all the time, you're supposed to have enough sense by now.
Back on agriculture.
Yeah. We have a caller.
Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, I saw what I did.
Yeah.
Good morning. We hear you now.
I'm picking up a little. I'm picking up a little. Let me tell you something. Calm down, little son.
I done.
Calm down. Don't bother with them.
They dotish.
Calm down, Sheldon.
They
Don't
dotish.
bother with these people.
Stupid.
What I tell you is, that is going on right now. You have people that come in and say, the Prime Minister dying.
I hope they all are come.
A man and his wife come out, yes. I won't lie. If you think I like, look at Bala. I call Bala. I start to get a kind of way. And they don't have nothing nice to say. Sheldon and Devon are sick. Eyes are sick, man. We both legs. And when people tell me things, how I don't feel. And these people come right here. I call Bala, I say, Bala, look at this man tell me. This can me go and pray. He have Alzheimer's and he's sick bad. And everybody running them out. That is the same man. That is the same man I see some of them in front of that man do. I decide the same man. I see there are children going by. I mean, my God. This is there for everybody. If it happens that the Prime Minister sick, say, Lord have mercy. We don't rejoice over people's sickness. Sheldon, I never thought our army took good man up today with the pain. Yeah, people are sorry for me. When they see I can walk. I crying and come down here and that walking me. When I see people run them out and that man, my God. I hear a woman and the man saying everything about it, Michelle. He just dropped. He just dropped some block. A load of sand and grabbing from the door. People like that kill me. And they don't have nothing to say good. Grenadians, y'all stop this thing. Don't say that. Say a lot of mercy. You say that your worst enemy. They have to stop that. And the whole thing.
Kami.
That's why I have to let it out.
Yeah, well, we say it.
I could call their name.
We say it and we done. We say it and we done.
And again, keep Michelle food. Keep Michelle helping them and their family. And I just say that the man of Moreno. The man of Sister Moreno.
And they're listening.
Lord have mercy. Again.
Okay.
I can't take them again.
All right. Yeah, and they're listening. Let me say good morning to his brothers and sisters and them, and say good morning to all of you. Hope you're enjoying your day today. All right? Yeah, more life. That is all you're giving him. More life.
Long life.
Yeah, that stupidity on the radio in the morning with nonsense, you idiot. That is why you continue to wallow. You stay there and beg for another 20 years. Beg for people to pay your rent and your bill and so on. Beg. You go stay there and beg for another 20 years. Let them idiot mind you. You stupidity. Yeah. I'm done with that.
Who God bless, no man curse. And God has blessed every single one of us.
Beg, you sour. Yeah, your spirit gain your problem. That's why you have to beg and lie. Steady. If Shaggy don't do a program in the morning, you can't say nothing. You idiot. Intellectually deficient. You can't even make a program. I bet you for 1 month he can't stay off the name Shaggy. Or refer to something on Shaggy program. Or refer to something intellectually deficient. That is why they will continue to pay for you to keep them exactly what it is. In opposition. Forever. Yeah, you idiot.
Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, Devon.
Yes.
Good morning, Sheldon. How you guys doing today?
Oh, we're fine.
Okay, so just a comment on well, I joined you late, so I'm very versed on what the topic is today. But based on what I heard so far, I'm just gonna comment on that. The thing is that Devon and Sheldon, if anybody pays attention to the persons that go and attack the Prime Minister, and I say attack because it's an attack, right? Is because they have that. Most of them, I would say 90%, right? It is because of a personal nature in terms of they would have felt that they were something that they wanted or something that maybe they thought that that they were entitled to and they did not get, right? That's the reason why they have this hatred towards him. I could tell you personally, Mr. Ali Maturin's main problem is dated back all when that had to do with the craft center when he was a tutor and he felt that he was obligated to teach the class and whatever the situation was. And when you look back at the persons who attacked the Prime Minister personally, right? I'm not saying that some of the things that, as I say to people, give Jackie jacket. When he wrong, right? You're blasting for when he's wrong. But when you have a situation where that you are blinded by hatred, you would never see the positive in whatever is being done. So it doesn't matter whatever it is, whatever is being put out, they have to look at the negative part of it and don't look at the positive. And half of them is like, honestly, I would say if they're really concerned about the development of Grenada, right, the persons who are really concerned, and I say concerned, about the development of Grenada, when certain things are being done and they know they do not have a point of view, they shut up. But yet for all the persons that have I would say the hatred towards Dr. Mitchell, it has nothing to do with nothing else but the hatred of Dr. Mitchell. They would make it look as though he's such and such. You understand? So then I think by now, as you say, we are no longer living in a society where that half of the population is uneducated. So you know what? After a while, people stop listening to them. So right now, people like Mr. Maturin, and so I don't think people pay much attention to them anymore. That's just my contribution today, guys.
All right.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
And I'm done. I have nothing to say about that again. On to the next issue. Mm-hmm. All right. Now, what I've been picking up over the past few days is that several of the government ministers have been reporting that people are messaging people like them and telling them about grant program, and if you get yours yet. One even messaged me as Honorable Gregory Bowen. He messaged me asking me, hi, how are the good people? Just checking in on the good people at Grenada. Now, Honorable Gregory Bowen is here. He's in Grenada. I have his number. I could call him right now.
Oh,
and you have these individuals out there, and I'm telling you specifically where they're doing it from. They're doing it from West Africa. It's a business that these people run. And we're saying it for you all to tell other people, because still, on a weekly basis, we have people that are losing money on this thing. Still, we have people losing money. Over the past 48 hours, I've seen a fake account in the name of Honorable Kindra Maturin Stewart, Honorable Delma Thomas, Honorable Kate Skeeter Lewis, Honorable Pamela Moses, The Dr. Mitchell one kind of ease up, but you know it's going to come back again. There was one in the name of Honorable Emlyn Pear. Those are the ones that I've seen so far, and I'm pretty sure that there are others right now. Folks, no government minister, no government official, nobody that is seriously involved in any financial program. You heard the agriculture minister speak about that program. That is where they would speak about it. At the post-cabinet press briefing, they will send out information via the media. They will not contact you via Facebook. Nobody will contact you via Facebook. And in no instance will you have to go to Western Union to send money to anybody outside of Grenada, or even who claims to be inside in Grenada and say send it to them Western Union. Nobody, no one at all will come to you on Facebook with such a program. All right, so just take note of that. Anytime they come to you, Kathleen Alexander, if you want to think. In fact, I know how to deal with all your so you know. Yeah, if you don't want to listen to me again, that's your business. Your phone is yours, your radio is yours. Take it off, that's your business. Yeah, anyway, back to sensible things. Now, what you have to do is that anyone that contacts you via social media, be it Instagram, be it Twitter, be it WhatsApp or whatever, offering you grant funding for anything, block the person. Report them if you know how to report them. Report it and block them. Don't engage in conversations with them. Block the profile one time. No, let me repeat, no government minister, no government official, and no one involved in any program will be contacting you via social media to tell you about. So don't expect Honorable Yolande Bain Hosford to be sitting at a computer looking for you specifically to ask you if you get your money under any grant funding. That ain't going to happen. It's not. It will never happen. Same goes for Honorable Kindra Maturin Stewart. Same goes for Honorable Delma Thomas, Honorable Kate Skeeter Lewis, Honorable Emlyn Pear, and all other government ministers, parliamentarians, and officials on both sides of the floor. Because if they find they ain't getting through the government one, they're going to create fake ones in the name of these senators on the other side of the floor and try to use them as well. So it's not a political thing. It is a fact that these individuals are sitting behind computers and they don't care. You delete a profile for them today, they create one same time today. And the reason they do that is if they can get each of you to send a 600 US to them, even if they catch 10 people a week between Grenada and other islands, that means that these people are making $6,000 US a week by sitting behind a computer conning people in the Caribbean. And in some of these countries in Western Africa, this is accepted as a business because the agencies, Western Union and MoneyGram, I believe, need to shut their offices in these countries. They need to shut it, close it down, because these people, although Western Union and MoneyGram in those countries making a lot of money off of it because they're sending money over there. Western Union and MoneyGram here in Grenada is doing what ought to be done. They are telling people when they come to send money, they're asking you if you really know these people, and so they're trying to stop you. But again, some people have the attitude, oh, all you're trying to mind my business and all you're trying to stop me from, because these people print out a thing, write out a thing that look like a check, and they photocopy that, or they take a picture of it and they send it to you on WhatsApp or they send it to you on Facebook, doesn't mean it's a check that you're going to get. It's fake. Yeah? And it's high time we all get on the level that we know that as fake as if somebody tell you the sky pink. Yeah? It's time we get to that level. We can't tell. There people that lost money last week on this thing. There's still gullible people losing money on this thing. It's high time that ends. Yeah? It's high time that ends. And now, when you see the person sign in, what they're doing, they're not creating the Facebook profile. So if you click on it, you're not getting a Facebook profile. They just have a messenger profile. And they're using a US number. Yeah. Which if they knew better, they wouldn't do, because I'm hoping that we can get the FBI involved and therefore have some of these people tracked down, and extradited to the United States so they could get locked up for a long period of time So just like recently happened to some out of Jamaica that were doing it, so that at the end of the day they would know not to do it. Treat them like terrorists. As far as I'm concerned, they're economic terrorists, and it's high time they're treated as such. Yeah.
You have a few of them in Grenada too, you know.
Yeah. 4407377. That's the number.
And 347-329-3101. Again, hey, good morning to all of you on the live who have joined us and making your contributions, and so we welcome to you all. Just an advice for you, Kathleen. Pay attention to your grammar, eh?
No, that idiot. Time with them. Dunce. Don't bother them.
You know, just, hey, and coming up this Sunday, the 16th, right, is the, good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Gentlemen, morning.
Hey,
good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, Brother Scott, these is two things that in mind as I hear you mention that money situation. It's my understanding from what you said is that the local agency here has a fair idea as to a suspicious transaction. And I'm saying, if that is so, and if despite warnings, the local person insists on carrying out the transaction, that it could be put in law place where once the local agency is satisfied that this is a very questionable transaction, this is just my thinking, that the fees charged to effect such transactions be increased sufficiently to discourage the local party from engaging in this thing. This is just the thought I have.
What I can say, Doc, is that I know for a fact that the lovely staff down there at Western Union and the lovely staff at MoneyGram, they have on several occasions stopped people who were there to send. I'm talking about people that had $1,000 about to send to these people. $1,000 to send to somebody that they don't know. But the thing is that they've gotten so good at this. The staff at both institutions, MoneyGram and Western Union, they've gotten so good at this that they could basically, from the time the person starts filling out the form and saying who they're sending to, they can figure out something ain't right here. Something isn't right, because these people are giving some names and some places and so on. So that's why they ask specific questions. If they suspect that is taking place, they ask specific questions. They ask, like, do you know the person you're sending the money to? What is the purpose of sending that money? And they're saying that not because they fast and they want to know, but they're asking that, they're probing with those questions because they understand that what these people outside of Grenada are doing. Yeah, but some people still, they refuse to answer.
Yes,
they answer in a kind of
yes.
way and still sending the money.
Yeah, I fully understand what you are saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, in addition to what they have been able to do so far, if persons insist on doing something which other persons are aware are not in their best interest, I just think such transactions should be classified, given a particular classification, and warrant a different level of charge to be effected.
Yeah.
That's my thinking on it at the moment.
Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, Doc. Yes, indeed. 4407377.
And 347-329-3101.
Yes, several people are still getting caught in this. And I mean, we've been speaking about this for years. This is not a new something. For years, we've been speaking about this sort of thing. Yeah? And now I've seen within the last 4 days, they realize that they're getting 1 or 2 people still to send money out of the island of Grenada. We have to get to the stage that everybody knows, don't send.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, brother Devon. How are you going?
Not too bad, my friend.
Tobago.
Everything, brother Sheldon?
Hey, Ade, man.
You good.
Everything good?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, they listen all, yeah. Those people that sending that thing, you have people sending a message and tell you they receive the money, so you should try to get through, you know.
Yep.
But it doesn't bother with them because them me, I like money, you know. We like money. I don't check my money several times before I deposit it, you know. You don't just deposit money, just, you know. I don't make sure I check my money. Yeah, so I just relaxing here on my bed.
What's going on in Tobago, man? I hear you all have a lot of visitors.
Boy, watch now. Let me tell you something. Let me give you all a story. Yesterday, I went to do some documents in Scarborough. So I said, well, let me go and print out some things now. So when I go there, I can't get through because so much Venezuelan down here registering. I say, Lord have mercy. All where you go, all street you pass. Hundreds are down there. Right now, all this morning is down there right now. So me, I stay away from town today because I have to go in town in a bit. I say, I give them time because they have a process now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, guarding them down there. So it's a situation because they live in Trinidad because they can't get through down in Trinidad, so they're coming over with the boat and the plane and thing. But these people and them, honestly speaking, the people and them, because most people recognize that. The people are coming over here, these people not seeing trouble. These people may be running from trouble. Because if you see how these people dress and they have money spending, because I was at the bar yesterday, said only, and they come in and you see them in $100 of dollars, they have the money. So now people are seeing trouble, they might be running away from trouble. That's the only thing I see, because I see no problem with them. Yeah.
Okay.
And they're costing the Prime Minister down here, they're saying he's not right to do that, but I mean, it's a humanitarian situation, because people giving them a lot of things down here to water, even see chocolate of water and things people giving them yesterday, you know, and they didn't give in local and things, but I say people need help, because we was in a situation where people send, you know, down to the piggy bank and I'll break it and send the thing to help us. So I don't know why people doesn't. I don't have no problem with them. I don't have no problem with them.
Well, let me tell you this, sir.
The only problem I have is that I want to get through my thing and I can't get through as quickly as I should. You know?
All right.
That's the only problem. They right now they have a photocopy thing that they do this. And down here real busy with them right now.
Okay. Yeah. All right, brother.
So, me Devon,
yes.
I tell you, hand, I'll spread out WD-40. That's the only thing I will help you. Listen to me.
All right, boss. I hear you.
Later.
All right, good.
All right.
Oh, my. Well, what I say is this, in relation to that situation. The people of Trinidad must remember in the year 1970, when Rex Lassell and Rafik Shah, 2 army colonels at the point in time, staged a mutiny. And Trinidad was in chaos because you had an army mutiny taking place in 1970. And the older heads, especially the military heads in Trinidad, could tell you that Venezuela offered assistance to Trinidad at that point in time. In fact, there was a Venezuelan vessel that was within firing distance of a certain point in Trinidad, yeah, with troops on board that were willing to come into Trinidad at that point in time and assist. Also, after the coup in 1990, Venezuela did offer its assistance to the people of Trinidad. Here in Grenada, after Hurricane Ivan, we had Venezuelan soldiers here. In fact, the Simon Bolivar village that is presently there in St. David was built by Venezuelan soldiers. The roof of many of the schools and other places here in Grenada were fixed by Venezuelan soldiers. We had Venezuelan soldiers, we had Ghanaian soldiers, and we had Trinidad soldiers. Those were the 3 major contingents. We had the RSS too. But the major contingents were Trinidad, Guyana, and Venezuela.
They help with cleaning up of the surroundings.
Yeah, help with the cleaning up, help with putting on roof on a lot of the elderly people and people in need places and so on. So in their time of need, we can't really forget them. Yeah?
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, gentlemen, and good morning to your listening audience. Well, let me get straight to the point here. You know, Mr. Scott and Mr. Romain, I've been reviewing my contributions over a period of time, and I come to the conclusion that normally I take up a little too much time. So in the future, trust me, I'm going to deal with it accordingly. Now, listen to this. In the Northwest constituency in St. Andrews, where Minister Delma Thomas is the representative, I must tell you that right now, Minister Thomas is fully aware of the concerns of the people. And the mechanism is in place to ensure that the info reaches her. As a matter of fact, the info, concern, and needs of the people are collectively addressed on a monthly basis. And I can assure you that the minister will get to the relevant persons in a timely manner. But listen to this. I have heard all kinds of speculation coming from the losers and naysayers regarding Dr. Mitchell being out of the country. What does it take for the supporters of the NDC to realize that they are supporting a party that is a non-factor, not important, and will never win an election in the next 30 years? And what they don't know is that the person that will succeed Dr. Mitchell is a person that will put a bigger nail in the coffin of the NDC than what Dr. Mitchell has put presently. And when that change comes, the official dismantling of the NDC will commence. There is no if, no buts, and no maybe. It will happen, and it will materialize. Gentlemen, have a pleasant day.
All right, brother.
You too, my friend. Have a wonderful day.
You do that in less than 3 minutes.
In less than 3.
He's saying short and shoot, but
Again, a good morning to all of you who will join us on the live. And so Denise, Jacinta, good morning to all of you.
Let me say a special good morning to the men and women of the Royal Grenada Police Force. Still into the police activities, and so I know the sports day should be coming up, and I think they have a gala or two that will be coming up, and so RGPF, I'll leave us out, but we love all this still.
They had the exhibition, and so the different departments, you know.
But, I ain't see that one. I had to go and check that one. Yeah. Also, one of them using a number 832-786-8023. Yeah, so one of them using that number to create a fake profile in the name of Minister Nicholas Steele. Yeah, so there's a fake profile in the name of Honorable Nicholas Steele too. So we have to be careful with these things. We have to be extremely careful with that. Yeah, we can't joke around that. We have to be careful with that. Because these people and them, they are getting a lot of money from persons here. And folks, we need to be careful with that. Stop sending money to people you don't even know if they exist. You never see the person, you never talk to the person, you don't know you're taking your hard-earned money. And the problem others have is people who don't have. They don't have, they really seriously don't have money.
They go and find it.
They go in and borrow the money from people to say, causing confusion between friends, causing confusion between family. They ending up owing credit union because they might have a little something in the credit union. They say, okay, well, I need to send $1,000 US. They go and they take a small loan from the credit union. They take this $1,000 US and they go and send it. Lose that money. The person might even contact them, ask for more. By the time they catch up with themselves, they send nearly $3,000-4,000 US out to these people. Yeah, it happens. And then you end up owing, you have to pay the credit union or the bank. You have to pay them.
Have to pay them
You
back.
can't get away from that. You have to pay them. So this is what has been happening. So folks, need to be careful in relation to that. You have to watch out for that. Yeah?
Yep.
Watch out for that. Be careful.
And those of you, anytime you have the urge to do something like that, just think about your neighbor who might be in need, right, of something to eat or for the child to go to school. Send that money there instead.
Mm-hmm.
Just consider your neighbor. Every time you have that urge to send that money wherever wherever you have to send it, just think of your neighbor who might be in need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, folks. And for in fact, we're nearly out of time.
We are almost out of time.
We're nearly out of time. But folks, remember, the post-cabinet press briefing this morning, they did speak. The Honorable Yolande Bain Hosford, the Minister with Responsibility for Agriculture and Lands, was on this morning. And she spoke specifically to the program where they're providing farm labor support to farmers and specifically looking at certain crops like the coconut, spices, especially with a heavy emphasis on the St. David area. That doesn't mean that you're not looking at other area because spices do pretty well in St. John too.
Yeah.
Parts
Even
of
St. Andrews.
Yeah, St. Andrew and St. John. Spices do pretty Those areas, St. George, yeah, a little thing, really spice area. You know, coconuts. We planting coconuts and so on because we need to increase the amount of coconuts that we have. Yeah, because that we could do oil long if you do a coconut.
Yeah, boy, man. Not this kind of powder eating and see all you want to.
I don't using it.
All you sending for people. We
And
not time for that.
using it.
Everybody plant a coconut tree.
Not too close to the house or where you plant the bill though. You don't want that to go and cut it down after.
Yeah, plant a coconut tree.
Coconut tree is nothing that you could go and trim and see while you're bringing it to this height. You could trim the branches, but you can't trim the height of the tree. So know what tree you're planting, know where you're planting it and that kind of thing. But people need to plant some coconut trees. And so because you realize like in the telescope area, since a lot of those trees got destroyed, the land started to go. Hope was an area that used to have a lot of coconut trees too.
The entire
peninsula there.
Yeah, that eastern corridor right there. That's where the majority of the coconuts.
Inside, so it's not peninsula, it's kind of in. So peninsula is out. But that area, the coast.
That coast is where you usually got the majority of coconuts. You know, around from Sotes, from St. Patrick's, come right down the side of the St. David's.
You still get a lot of coconut oil and so in poultry though.
Oh yeah, this place.
Yeah, you get the virgin coconut oil. They do the coconut oil at colorless and odorless, and then they have the normal coconut oil, like if you want for cooking and that sort of thing. And like the authorities can make up their mind 1 minute coconut oil good, next minute coconut oil ain't good.
For them.
Well, watch. My grandmother lived to the age of 83 and she used to use coconut oil.
Every day.
And I know people in the 90s and the 100s that has used coconut oil.
Still using
coconut oil. Good, we go use it.
Yeah, we using it to grease with skin. We using it to cook. We using it for cold, heat it and put it in the head. And everything like coconut oil is the boss. Plant a coconut tree. It's never too late.
Folks, that's all the time we have for Hard Talk today. It's been wonderful being here with you. And whatever you say and do it safe and secure. We want to be speaking to and with you.
And not about you.
Yeah, love each and every one of you. We are gone.
As Grenadians living out in a foreign land, to some at home it kinda seems like we miles apart. But I live each day hoping that you will understand that Grenada really lies so close to our hearts. Hey, I know here at home some of our experience. They say we live this nation and subject to a foreign living, so we no longer daughters and sons. And never mind where we live out of foreign. Europe and North America is the sound of the diaspora calling. We want you to know we love we sweet Grenada. Hey, I said the diaspora calling. Yeah. We want you to know that we love we Grenada bad. Diaspora calling. Yeah. We love Grenada even though we may live abroad. It's time that we come together, man. We have this nation to build. We got to see ourselves like brothers and sisters. Let's put shoulders to the wheel. Well, let me tell you now, the diaspora calling. Yeah. We want Grenadians at home to please understand. Say the diaspora calling. Yeah. We love Grenada like the hills love the Granada.